The NATO-Russia relationship is a monumental chess game on the global stage, with each move loaded with historical weight and strategic significance. The narrative of this rivalry is not just about military might, but also about ideological battles and the quest for regional influence. Since the collapse of the Soviet Union, the dynamics of international power have dramatically shifted, placing NATO and Russia at opposite ends of the spectrum. This rivalry is not merely regional, but has global implications that affect security, politics, and economic developments worldwide. Understanding this relationship is crucial for grasping the undercurrents that drive much of today's international affairs.
Section 5. Russia's strategic concerns in the new era. In the post-Cold War era, Russia's strategic concerns have evolved, focusing increasingly on the perceived encroachment of Western influence in regions historically within its sphere of influence. The expansion of NATO and the European Union eastward has ignited fears in Moscow of being marginalized in European affairs and losing control over its near abroad. Russia's military interventions in Georgia in 2008 and Ukraine in 2014 are indicative of its readiness to assert its dominance in what it considers its strategic backyard. These actions were not only about exerting influence, but also about sending a clear message to NATO and the West regarding Russia's unwillingness to concede its regional interests. The annexation of Crimea, in particular, was a bold move that highlighted Russia's strategic priorities and its sensitivity to NATO's activities near its borders. Moreover, Russia has been actively modernizing its military capabilities, investing heavily in advanced weaponry, and reforming its armed forces. The development of new intercontinental ballistic missiles, hypersonic weapons, and enhanced cyber warfare capabilities are part of Russia's strategy to maintain a credible deterrent against any potential aggression.
Section 6. Flashpoints of tension: Ukraine and the Baltic states. The flashpoints of NATO-Russia tension are most palpably felt in Ukraine and the Baltic states, regions that are symbolic of the broader struggle for influence in Eastern Europe. The conflict in Ukraine, which began in 2014, has become a focal point of the NATO-Russia rivalry, with NATO supporting Ukraine's sovereignty and territorial integrity, while Russia views the Western backing as a direct threat to its security and interests. NATO's response included bolstering its military presence in Eastern Europe, particularly through the enhanced forward presence in the Baltic states and Poland. This deployment is intended as a deterrence against potential Russian aggression, ensuring the security of NATO's eastern frontiers. NATO has conducted several large-scale military exercises in the region, showcasing its capability and readiness to defend these countries. Conversely, Russia perceives these activities as provocative, further entrenching its views on NATO's intentions and escalating the security dilemma. Section 7. Comparative military strengths: NATO and Russia. NATO, with its 30-member countries, possesses significant military advantages over Russia, primarily in terms of technological superiority and logistical capabilities. The alliance benefits from the collective military prowess of countries like the United States, which boasts the world's most powerful armed forces, and other major European powers with advanced military technologies. On the other hand, Russia maintains one of the largest standing armies in the world and has substantial tank, aircraft, and naval assets. Its military strategy emphasizes asymmetric warfare capabilities, including cyber warfare and information operations, which are aimed at exploiting the vulnerabilities of its adversaries. Russia's recent military modernizations aim to offset NATO's technological edge by enhancing its strategic nuclear and conventional forces. Understanding the comparative military strengths and strategies of NATO and Russia is crucial for assessing the security landscape in Europe and beyond.
Section 8. Diplomatic maneuvers: efforts to ease tensions. Throughout the decades-long history of NATO-Russia relations, various diplomatic efforts have been undertaken to ease tensions and foster a more stable and predictable relationship. High-level dialogues, including the NATO-Russia Council established in 2002, have been pivotal in providing a platform for communication and cooperation on security issues of mutual concern. However, the effectiveness of these diplomatic channels has fluctuated with the political climate, often being suspended during periods of heightened tensions. The Treaty on Conventional Armed Forces in Europe, signed in 1990, played a crucial role in reducing the risk of conventional armed conflict in Europe by setting limits on key categories of military equipment. Efforts to revive and expand arms control measures continue to be a critical aspect of NATO-Russia diplomacy. Despite these efforts, diplomatic relations between NATO and Russia are often strained, reflecting the deep-seated mistrust and divergent interests that characterize their interactions. Section 9. Arms control, a pillar of strategic stability. Arms control agreements have historically played a pivotal role in maintaining strategic stability between NATO and Russia. The Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty, signed in 1987, was one such landmark agreement that eliminated an entire class of nuclear missiles and reduced the immediate nuclear threat in Europe. The US withdrawal from the INF Treaty in 2019, citing Russian violations, marked a significant setback in arms control efforts, raising concerns about a new arms race. The extension of the New START Treaty in 2021 was a positive development, reflecting a mutual understanding of the importance of limiting strategic nuclear arsenals. The evolution of military technology thus poses both a challenge and an opportunity for NATO and Russia to redefine the parameters of strategic stability. As both NATO and Russia continue to modernize their military capabilities, the importance of robust and adaptable arms control frameworks becomes increasingly apparent.
Section 10. Future projections, charting the course of NATO-Russia relations. Looking ahead, the trajectory of NATO-Russia relations seems poised on a knife edge, with potential scenarios ranging from cautious cooperation to intensified confrontation. The geopolitical landscape is influenced by a myriad of factors, including political leadership changes, technological advancements, and global security challenges like terrorism and climate change. One potential scenario is the reinvigoration of diplomatic and arms control efforts, leading to a gradual thawing of tensions. Alternatively, if current tensions escalate, the risk of military confrontations could increase, particularly in contested regions like Eastern Europe. The role of China as an emerging superpower also adds a layer of complexity to NATO-Russia dynamics. Ultimately, the future of NATO-Russia relations will depend on a complex interplay of strategic calculations, international pressures, and the unpredictable flows of global politics.
Section 11. Conclusion, reflecting on the NATO-Russia power play. The enduring rivalry between NATO and Russia is a testament to the complex interdependencies and conflicts that define modern international relations. This relationship, characterized by strategic competition, mutual distrust, and sporadic attempts at cooperation, continues to shape the geopolitical landscape of not only Europe but the entire world. Reflecting on the various aspects of this rivalry, from historical expansions to current military postures and future scenarios, provides valuable insights into the dynamics of international power plays. It also underscores the importance of strategic dialogue and cooperation, which are essential for managing conflicts and building a stable international order. The NATO-Russia narrative is far from over, and its evolution will undoubtedly continue to captivate and influence